Vision has deployed?
So they are taking very advantage of that based on
Yeah.
so being correctly.
All right. All right. Okay.
Yeah, and so that we have a scalable building some configs of which can release to in India who want to present as a scalable custom configurations.
Okay. All right. That scalable, as we have discussed earlier, that whenever the user is using any scale, so at that time they should know whenever they are changing any settings, which scale are they currently changing the settings for. For that, what they will do is while they are updating the scales and they are providing the custom configurations, they would also use the scale label. So they are going to set up any custom name for the scale, and then that would be the name that they are going to use to refer that scale later. So that is what the scale label was for. If you remember, I had suggested that we use the scale name. Then we decided that instead of the scale name, we would use the scale label, which the user is going to give us. And that, so along with the other details of the scale, we will also save the scale label that the user has provided. So whenever they need any information about that scale, they will refer to that scale with the scale label. So with the help of that label, we can identify the scale name, the scale ID, and then we can provide the necessary data to them. Yeah.
So meaning we don't need the schedule with this because he has imposed the scale must be scale ID. Because we have the scale label.
No. The ID has to be hidden. That Limon was supposed to do before he left, but he didn't. So the ID that we on the back end, we are whenever we're referring to any scale, we use the ID to get the details of it. So that is for the technical side. So this ID would be hidden. But whenever the user is referring to any scale, they will set up a custom name for the scale, and then they will use the scale label. So the scale ID has to be there, but it has to be hidden. The user should not be able to see it. So that is one change that we need to make, hiding the scale name. And the next thing that we're also supposed to do is the scale type. Right now, I can see it is an input field where the user can type any name. That should not happen. Instead, it should be a drop-down list of all the scales, and the user selects one scale, and then that scale API would be hit, and we would be using. So, if the user wants to use an NPS scale in the drop-down, they would select NPS, and then the edit, then the all the NPS scale, the form for the NPS scale would be used, and if they want some other scale, then they select that from the list, and then that scale would be created. So these are the two rectifications that we need to make on the front end side.
Actually, the drop-down list is using for the element. From drop-down list is already critical.
Yeah. Okay. Where did Ambrose go?
Maybe PC went off or something.
Okay.
Okay. So, as I was saying, okay, there should be a drop down for the types, that's under the update settings.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm saying is, these things are fine for now. I mean, can you see my screen?
Yes, it's loaded.
All right. So the settings form and everything, these things are fine. this scale type, it is an input field where I can type any name.
Yes,
So,
but it should
yeah.
be a drop down.
Yeah, it should be a drop down. So the reason it should be a drop down is because the user, the end user, the customer who is using this editor, they do not know what are the different kinds of scales that we are offering, right?
Yeah.
So we have to let them know that what are the scales that are there that they can use. So for that purpose, instead of having anything that the user can write, we should show them a drop down. So currently we have only embedded we have only connected the NPS API. So in the drop down right now, we can have only one element, which is the NPS scale. So yeah, so the first thing that the user does is, the first step is to select the scale type. So once they select the scale type from the drop down, then the API, we would use we have different APIs for different scales. So whichever scale type the user is selecting, that API has to be consumed, and that scale, that the update form for that particular scale has to be shown.
Okay.
So all things that the user is doing in the editor concerning the scales, it depends on the scale type. So for now, we have only NPS scale connected. So in the drop down, we will only have one scale. So with that, we will release this current version. And then in the next version, we can have 2-3 more scales. And then the users can switch between the scales and use different kinds of scale. And then we can see how the other APIs are performing.
Okay, ma'am.
Correct?
So, yes, alright. So we'll make the suggestions to Vision.
Yeah. So I've already discussed this with Eric. We have to include this in the design as well. So we'll do that. Mahinur will do that, and we'll share the design with you. So in case the design gets a little delayed, you will have to wait for it. Really start working. Make that form. It's just a matter of changing the input type. So that will be done. All right. And one more thing concerning this update form. So whenever I save, you can be here. There should be a message. There is a box right now here, this screen, but inside this, the message is not seen clearly. Like settings saved successfully. That message usually pops up, but right now you can only see the green rectangular bar and you cannot see any message in it. So we have to try that as well. Why is the message appearing?
I will look into that.
Yeah. Our side, so we rectify that. Like, and then what is the other thing that is yeah, now scales. So I think this is disabled because we are setting this on the basis of the document request.
Yes.
Yeah. You can change that. Have you noted down all these things? Okay, all right.
The drop down menu.
Yeah.
Save animation. Save animation. Number of skills.
Statement. And then the configuration form, we have to hide the scale ID. So the scale has to be field has to be hidden, and the scale label should go up.
Yes.
So first they provide a label to the scale, and then all right, it can be here only, no problem. So they build a relationship and they give the scale label. That's fine. So this field has to be hidden. This is the only change that we would have here in this form.
Okay.
Right. And for updating the scale as well. But Another three text boxes here, but I can't see that reflecting here in the element list.
Element list.
You see, there are three text boxes here.
Yeah.
But those text boxes, only one skill. Have tested this for yourself?
No, I've not tested by myself.
Okay. So what is the screenshot that you have shared? In this I can see that buttons and other things are there in the update, the configurations.
Yes, that was the picture I shared when I tested it. So I now was working already. You have to say it before what?
Did save it before as well, but that time it did not reflect. Maybe during that, but now it is reflecting. Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Alright, like this one. So this is the skill. I need to associate this text box. So I selected this text box gets highlighted. And after that, so once it is highlighted, automatically it happens, right? Automatically it is associated with this skill.
I'm not doing the testing though. That's what we explained. The skill and the elements I like, right? They get instant, then instant does the configuration.
No matter what skill I click on, this thing remains the same throughout.
Yes.
Correct. So the user wouldn't know whether the scale has already something like a relationship has already been built for this scale or not. So actually, while the expectation is the scales should not be shown in this drop down.
Okay.
We should only show the elements. Like this is my suggestion, because when I'm clicking on this particular scale, that I know that I am building a relationship for this scale only. So I'm not interested in these two scales. Like this is scale 1. So I am building a relationship for scale 1. So I am not interested in scale 2 and scale 3 at that moment of time. So
okay. Sorry, man. The configurations is specific to particular skill then.
Yeah, I know. In the back end it is there. But in the front end, if we are showing the other two scales as well in the drop down, then what can happen is the user can select there are 6 elements, right?
Yes.
So out of these, the user can select scale 3, and then the scale 1 would be associated with scale 3. You get my point?
I understand. In that means the implementation was not one skill to configuration. So
yeah.
Yes. I'm saying the implementation right now is not one skill to configuration. Just implemented the general configuration.
Yeah, I understood that. So what we need to do is whenever you're selecting highlighting any scale, clicking on this scale, this is the configuration form for this particular scale 1. Then what happens is I will see 3 other elements, not the scales. I will see these text 1, text 2, text 3. These 3 text boxes only should be shown to me in this drop-down. Then I select and input 2. So then what building a relationship between these two. Scale 1 and S1 and have a relationship now. I click on scale and that relationship.
Okay.
Then for this, I need to do the same thing for say scale 1 now. So when I click on scale 1 again, so at that time, what I'll see is T1 and T3. T2 should go out. It should be disabled.
Okay.
Because it has, yeah. Getting my point?
Yes, I understand the point.
Yeah, because T2 has already been used for scale 1.
Yes.
So for the other two scales, we will have T1 and T3.
Alright.
And these scales should not be shown in this drop down. Otherwise, what happens is, what I can do is, I can select scale 3, S3, and then I can, from this drop down, if I'm seeing the scales well in the drop down, I might select S1 and save. So what will happen is S3 will be related to S1.
Okay. Yes.
I'll discuss this with Vision as well, and we need to rectify this.
The point has been noted, so I will meet with Vision
Yeah.
today or after the meeting. So we'll try to rectify the issues.
Alright, okay.
Yeah. Okay, and I'll work on the skills too. The skills errors.
Yeah. So you can fix all those things here in the update form and other things, the scale type and the other update form and other things, and Vision can handle this part for the configuration.
Okay.
So Vision will be available now. We've not given him any other tasks. He is only handling, majorly he is handling the scales. So he will be available. You can have a call with him immediately after this and start working on it.
Okay.
Alright?
Alright, that's alright.
Okay, so Ambrose, I think, has some internet issues, so you can discuss it with him as well, and then you all can call Vision.
Okay, ma'am.
Alright. Okay. Next, Umar, do you have anything?
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, so can I hear the screen?
Yeah, sure.
Just am I visible?
Not yet. Yeah.
No. So now, I just want to moment to contact and this is how it looks.
Just, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so can you scroll and show me how is the entire report looking from the beginning?
Yeah, it's not like operating something and like that.
Yeah, this is fine.
This is how it looks.
Yes, this is Star Trek. This is normality. Okay. Okay, so we have displayed, this is also in the form of a table, right? Yeah. Fine. We need to do more on the beautification of this, like very simple things that you need to change. This borders of this report and everything, and all the, you can show them as an unordered list instead of tables. So that would look better.
This information where this information will be unordered list.
So what we can do quality of the entire evaluation module function that we have. We have to see how much time is it. So for what you can do is you can create one more template which has more number of scales. Right now you had only 2 scales and the list had 2 values, correct? It is like use around 10 to 15, so the list would be larger, and then test it, test the optimality, how much time it is taking from the beginning, from providing response you take you to the front end. At timing, you come down and you can let me know how much time it is taking to this front end. At the top, the table that we have for the individual scale responses, that at the top, the table that we have, that can this page. So, yeah, the table. So, you can see slide page to the page, and I look at it. Yeah. Template, and in that template you can use multiple scales. So then you will change the template ID to the new template ID now that you have newly created. And then it will calculate for that. Right? Yeah. So all these minor changes you can make and final editor. Alright?
Hello, ma. Yes, sir. You can pull my changes